Welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. Residents in Nepal find sustainable economic model in waste management. Teachers in POK cries for justice fall on deaf ears as government resorts to heavy-handedness. And newlyweds seek blessings at the Durgyana temple in India's Amritsar city during Shravan. Let's begin the show. The municipality bodies in Nepal's 2 districts have aced the craft of managing waste and earning money out of it by selling it for reuse on a daily basis. The municipality also has been making efforts to ensure every household takes the responsibility of segregating the wastes. Have a look. Waste management has been a painstaking task for the government of Nepal, but 2 local residents in the Himalayan nation have come up with a craft to manage the garbage, degradable and non-degradable, involving the locals. The Veling municipality of Siangja and Tilotama municipality of Rupandehi district has pioneered the craft of managing waste turning into a fortune. Both the locals have been earning millions of rupees by utilizing the different kinds of waste produced on a daily basis. One of the residents of Veling municipality, which is 240 kilometers from Kathmandu, Tara Devi Subedi, runs a small hotel in a local administrative region with a population of roughly 50,000. Her business has been producing 2 buckets, about 10 liters, full of garbage on a regular basis. She used to throw the trash into the collection vehicles a few years ago, but this tendency has changed in the last 5 years.
पहिला फोहोर व्यवस्थापन थिएन जम्मै कुनै न कुनै एकै ठाउँमा थियो यो व्यवस्थापन आछ अहिले जताततै यो कुनै न कुनै भिन्ना भिन्दै राखेर सबैले सदुपयोग गर्नुभयो कुनैलाई मलको रूपमा न कुनै छुट्टै गाडीमा राख्दै र नगरपालिकाले व्यवस्थापन गरिरहेको अहिले यो पहिला भन्दा अहिले धेरै राम्रो भयो.
Once, households and businesses like that of Subedi, located inside the administrative area, segregate and send non-degradable wastes, it is led to Veling Municipality Cleanliness Center. 3 trippers labeled to collect the garbage as degradable and non-degradable roam round around the locality collecting the waste from businesses as well as the households. Upon arrival at the site, the trippers unload the wastes where the working shift further separates the 4 kinds of plastics, glasses, papers and other wastes packed and sold to local factories that reuse and recycle it.
लगभग हामीसँग अहिले अब 80 देखि लिएर 1 करोडसम्म यसको हाम्रो आम्दानी हुन्छ एकरे आम्दानी त्यति हुन्छ त्यसमा कर्मचारीहरुको सबै यो व्यवस्थापनमा कटाएर लगभग हामीले 20-22 लाख रुपैयाँ जति हामीले अहिले बढाउन के रे गर्न सङ्कलन जम्मा गर्न अनि बचाउन सक्छौं.
The local body has categorized the waste into 3 sections to make the locals easier to understand and makes its management more effective. Out of the 8 of 10 tons of waste produced on a daily basis, it is classified as degradable, non-degradable and glasses. The share of degradable waste among those produced on a daily basis stands at about 90%, which is mostly managed by the locals back in their home. Only 10% makes its way to the cleanliness center. Further at the cleanliness site, the non-degradable, usually the plastics, are classified onto 2 subcategories, recyclable and non-recyclable.
उहाँहरुले फोहोर वर्गीकरण गर्न सकिदैन काठमाडौँमा फोहोर वर्गीकरण छैन हामी जाँदा हेर्छौं नि फोहोर सबै फोहोर एउटै बकेटमा हुन्छन् त्यसले गर्दाखेरि त्यो डम्पिङ साइडमा लगेर फ्याक्ने भन्दा अरु उपाय छैन र यो फोहोर त डम्पिङ साइडमा लगेर फ्याकेर कति दिन समस्या समाधान हुन्छ र हुँदैन नि यो त एउटा फ्याक्दा फ्याक्दै एउटा पहाड बन्ला फेरि अर्को पहाड बन्छ यसलाई त रियुज गर्नै पर्यो रियुज गर्न सकियो भने त यसबाट त प्रशस्त मनग्गे चाहिने आम्दानीको स्रोतको रूपमा पनि लिन सकिन्छ नि त भोलि अहिले त हामीले यो फोहोरबाट हुने आम्दानीलाई हामीले फ्याकिरहेछौं फोहोरलाई त मोर बनाउन सकिन्छ, हरेक फोहोर चाहिने त्यसमा चाहिने के चाहिने रियुज हुन्छ, पुनः प्रयोग हुन्छ, जे पनि पुनः प्रयोग हुन्छ।
Though the local municipality that lies in Ganki province has been segregating and selling off the waste, it is due to procure the machineries to recycle the wastes on its own. Bidding to procure the machineries has been completed as the municipality plans to produce 24 different kinds of products from the waste it has been segregating in the present days. The municipality also has been making efforts to ensure every household takes the responsibility of segregating the wastes. Waste materials from households are collected only after degradable and non-degradable are separated. If anyone denies to follow it, the house is penalized with a fine of 500 Nepali rupees. To ensure proper utilization of degradable wastes, the municipality, through cooperatives, has distributed compost bins to the households where manures are produced, used as well as sold in the market. The production of manures also has reduced the dependency on chemical fertilizers, which at seasons become scarce. Let's now talk about the persecution of minorities in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. When this country was carved out of India in 1947, the population of non-Muslims was around 23%. Today, it is somewhere between 3 to 4%. Despite this drastic decline, the Pakistan government has failed to protect the people from the minority community. The crime against them have rather risen in recent years. We have this report.
Pakistan is insecure for non-Muslims. They are being discriminated, targeted, forcefully converted, and their places of worship are being destroyed. In a recent incident that shook the world, a 150-year-old Sagarmataha temple in Karachi was razed to ground. The temple had been the target of land grabbers and developers for years now. Another temple in Kashmir area of the country's Sindh province was attacked on the same day with rocket launchers. The temple belonging to the Bagri Hindu community opens annually for religious services. Religious places belonging to the minority community in Pakistan are frequently being targeted by Islamic hardliners. Human rights activists have accused the Pakistani establishment of not protecting the minorities and allowed them to be systematically targeted.
Pakistan was built thinking with that as a Puritan state. So Puritan states means that the state can actually use religion as a control the people, and mindset and the growth, the whole thinking about the people can be controlled by the religion. So the dominating or establishment, I call it, in our Pakistan, in our country, is generally military. Military is the most powerful institute within the state, and they are the establishment. And for them, using religion as a weapon to control the people. And so they have changed the whole country's mindset by the education system, by the cultural mindset, to make it that they can make people can stop thinking better, people stop modernizing and secular. Inherently, the people of Sindh, people of Balochistan or Punjab, or the other states, they inherently are people secular. They are not sort of hostile people. It's the way 70 years of institutionalization has really put a radical impact on the people.
Not just Hindus, the Sikhs, Christians, Ahmadiyas, and other religious minorities in Pakistan are facing persecution. A report by the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan titled A Breach of Faith, Freedom of Religion or Belief in 2021-22 raised concerns over forced conversion, religious extremism, and draconian blasphemy law that targets minorities in the country. It called for an urgent legislation to criminalize forced conversions and state action to counter sectarian violence. The Human Rights Commission of Pakistan also called for re-evaluating the quotas for religious minorities in education and employment. Human rights experts blame Pakistan for making amendments in its constitution to target minorities.
There were multiple amendments in the constitution in 1980s when the dictator Muhammad Ziaul Haq make the all constitution as Islamizations, and many changes he made according to the Sharia law, the blasphemy laws, amendments, Article 295A, B, and C was just to target the innocents and the religious minorities, and it is a sword that was hanging all the time on the heads of minorities, and 3,000 people have been victimized regarding minorities and other innocents. Many have been killed during the court trials, many are in prisons, and many have been killed during the just a lagging time, and even in the police stations they have been killed.
A large number of political activists belonging to the minority community from Pakistan have been raising their issues on various international platforms. Every year, they hold protests in front of the United Nations to seek justice, but the atrocities on minorities in Pakistan are aggregating year on year. An urgent international attention is needed to protect the religious minorities in Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Israelis blocked Tel Aviv's main highway in the early hours of Tuesday this week. Police used water cannon to push back the protesting crowd, and several people were dragged away by officers. Mass protests erupted with renewed fury in Israel after lawmakers ratified the first will of a judicial overhaul sought by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Last gasp compromise efforts collapsed earlier, failing to ease a constitutional crisis that has been convulsing the country for months. Demonstrations against the amendment began early in the day, with police dragging away protesters who had chained themselves to posts and blocked the road outside Parliament. By evening, thousands had taken to streets across the country, blocking highways and scuffling with police. Israeli police said at least 22 people had been arrested on Monday. After years of hard work and huge investments to build their businesses, Afghan women were closing their beauty salons for good a day before the Taliban's ban on salon for women came into effect. With few other prospects for a livelihood, more than 60,000 women are likely to lose their jobs, and 12,000 beauty businesses are likely to shutter, according to industry estimates, putting further strain on an economy already in crisis. The Taliban's ban on beauty salons issued last month is the latest in a series of restrictions imposed on women in Afghanistan since it took control of the country 2 years ago during the chaotic withdrawal of US troops. In one of the busiest, most well-known avenues from Mexico City, dozens of fiberglass cows took up their positions as the Cow Parade exhibition kicked off. Artists painted and decorated the over 55 life-sized sculptures placed along Reforma Avenue, where passers-by admired them and did not miss the opportunity to take a photo with the cows. The sculptures will be on display until September 3. At the end of the exhibit, the cows will be auctioned and the money will be donated to charity institutions. Cow Parade has been held in more than 80 cities around the world since it was founded in Chicago in 1999. This is the third time the exhibition visits the country.
Moving on. A large number of determined teachers in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir are holding anti-government demonstrations. They also blamed the local authorities for muzzling their rightful demands. They said they wanted to address their issues of salary, regularization and discrimination against them in the capital city of Muzaffarabad, but the government seems intent on throwing a spanner in the works. Undeterred, these resilient educators are not backing down and have vowed to go every peaceful extent to get their voices heard.
Teachers in Pakistan occupied Kashmir are determined to raise their voices for a long overdue cause. While they have been seeking equitable treatment at par with their equals in provinces of Pakistan. Another obstacle that has further strengthened their resolve is the government's apathetic attitude towards them. These teachers are committed to taking their movement and demands to regional capital Muzaffarabad. A cornered and scared system, however, has preempted their plans. The local administration, which is accused of operating on the instructions of Islamabad, has launched a brutal crackdown against those who are at the forefront of this campaign. Despite being given repeated assurances about the peaceful nature of the demonstration, the authorities arrested several of the senior teachers.
हम मुजफ्फराबाद पहुंचने की भरपूर कोशिश करेंगे। हम अपने मुतालबे से पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। हम असातिज़ा इकराम हैं, हम पुरअमन हैं, हम पुरअमन ही रहेंगे इंशाअल्लाह ताला। हम कभी जो है किसी कानून को हाथ में नहीं लेंगे, लेकिन हमारा ये मुतालबा है कि हमें मुजफ्फराबाद तक जाने दिया जाए। इस तरह से जुल्म व सितम और इस तरह रास्ते बंद करना, जिस तरह हम कोई यहाँ के लोग नहीं हैं, यहाँ के वासी नहीं हैं, ये असातिज़ा इकराम हमारे माथे का जुमर हैं, ये सोसाइटी का फेस हैं। इनके लिए रास्ते खोले जाएं और इन्हें मुजफ्फराबाद जाने दिया जाए। हमारा प्रोग्राम है, हम इंशाअल्लाह ताला मुजफ्फराबाद जाएंगे और वहाँ से हम अपनी बात जो है वो ज़रूर करेंगे।
The local administration has employed every tool in the kit to contain the consistently compounding popularity of this campaign. Senior teachers and leaders were arrested on trumped-up charges. Demonstrators say it was a tactic designed to intimidate them, and it has proven to be a blessing in disguise, for they are even more determined to fight for their rights. The appeal to join in protest against the government has resonated with young and old alike, and everybody is supporting the movement. Women are coming up in large numbers to actively lend their support.
तो आप लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट कर रही हूँ कि आप तमाम ख़वातीन और हज़रात अपने स्कूल टीचर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के जो ओहदेदारान हैं और जो हमारे बाकी असातिज़ा इकराम गिरफ्तार हुए हैं उनकी मरकज़ी की भरपूर मज़म्मत करें और आप तमाम ख़वातीन और हज़रात जो हैं वो मरकज़ी सदर की जो कॉल जो है गिरफ्तारी से पहले किया उसी को बरकरार समझें।
The region of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir has faced discrimination of one form or the other for decades. People have resisted and raised demands for equality. The authorities, however, have been least bothered about their concerns. In fact, they have gone overboard to muzzle the voice of rightful demand and resistance. This story of teachers is developing on the same line. It would be historic if it means a different fate.
The month of Shravan is considered to be the most sacred period for worship. In order to receive blessings from Goddess Durga, the newlyweds visit India's Amritsar city's Sri Durgyana temple in the monsoon month of Shravan. During this time, newlywed women embellish themselves with floral jewelry assisted by their spouses. Let's take a glance.
The city of Amritsar in India is the home to the world's most sacred pilgrimage site among the Sikh community, the Golden Temple. Although it is popularly known as a land of Sikhism, the city flaunts a wide variety of cultural influences. Sri Durgyana Temple in Amritsar, although it's a center for Hinduism, it draws a stark similarity with Golden Temple. Revered among Punjabi Hindus and Sikhs alike, the temple derives its name from the Hindu goddess Durga. As per the Hindu lunar calendar, the month of Sawan is considered the most sacred period for worship and several other religious activities. The newlyweds in Punjab and from outside the state visit the Sri Durgyana temple every year to seek blessings from the goddess. During the auspicious month, the newlywed women adorn flower-inspired jewelry. The men assist their wives in putting on their flower jewelry after they select the design. The antique Radha Krishna sculpture in the temple is where newlyweds bow their heads and pray for a blissful married life.
एज अ न्यू ब्राइडल यहाँ पे श्रृंगार होता है सावन के महीने में, तो मैंने भी अपनी फैमिलीज़ के साथ यहाँ पे श्रृंगार किया है। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। मैं स्पेशली चंडीगढ़ से यहाँ आई हूँ मैं चंडीगढ़ रहती हूँ। यहाँ हम लोग स्पेशली श्रृंगार के लिए आए।
हम यहाँ सावन का त्यौहार मनाने आए हैं दुर्गाना मंदिर में। सावन में फूलों का श्रृंगार बहुत अच्छा लगता है, गहनों के श्रृंगार से ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है। न्यूली मैरिड कपल अपनी फ्यूचर लाइफ के लिए आशीर्वाद लेने जाते हैं कि सब अच्छे से रहे।
Sri Durgyana temple in the city is considered a religious site for centuries. The massive, wonderfully sculpted silver doors that have the incarnations of Vishnu and other gods etched on them are what give the temple its other name, Silver Temple. All day long, bhajan kirtans are performed inside the temple and the worshippers participate and enjoy the ambience.
ये हर साल दुर्गाना मंदिर में ये जो श्रृंगार किया जाता है, ये नव दंपति जो है अपने पति की दीर्घायु के लिए, अपने संतान की लंबी आयु के लिए अपना कलियों से श्रृंगार करती हैं। और हर साल श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण मंदिर में भगवान श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण जी का, श्री कृष्ण दरबार, श्री राम दरबार का हर साल सावन महीने में श्रृंगार किया जाता है, कलियों का श्रृंगार किया जाता है।
Due to several mythical and historical ties, the sacred city of Amritsar, which was established by the 4th Sikh Guru Ram Das Ji, has come to take special significance in Hindu mythology. The central structure, in a similar manner, rises from the midst of a tank and has canopies all around it. A well-known repository of Hindu scriptures in the temple is everywhere, from its walls, pillars, corridors, and most evidently in the hearts of the pilgrims.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We'll be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on the behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.